Well, I am so excited to have Miss Mindy Cronquist. Did I say that right? Mindy
Yes,
Cronquist?
you said that perfect.
On the podcast. You, my dear, are a lovely human being. And if people don't know you, you are the Utah mom and sometimes Utah granny that everybody so much loves. And just number one credentials, top 250 agents out of 6,000 in Utah. And just somebody that's amazing to be around. Obviously, we have an online based relationship, uh, but just the little that I have gotten to know you just over the last few weeks, months has been amazing. And I'm so glad we got connected. So thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. You're like a force, and someday we're meeting in person and doing fun things.
100%. We will have an event. We'll plan it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait. So really quickly, let's just, whatever I didn't share, tell the people a little bit about yourself and
Okay.
your journey here, starting in real estate and all the things.
Okay. So I was left like as a single mom of two little kids and kind of lost everything. Moved into with my two kids into one bedroom in my parents' house. And I had been around real estate. My dad was the mortgage loan officer. So I had been around the business a long time. While I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, I lived there 10 years. I managed the sales force from a corporate level for a Fortune 500 builder. He later sold the company for like $10 million or something, which was a ton of money back then, right? But when I was left alone, I said, I'll never depend on someone again. I'm going to go and get my real estate license. And if I'm terrible at it, I have a great corporate resume. I'll just proceed that way. So I got my license. I think I was able to do about 14 transactions my first year as a real estate agent, which I was like, I thought if I can make 40,000 a year and support my kids doing this is amazing. And so it's just compounded, and I've created a very relationship based business. And like you said, I hate the word top producer, but I have been a top producing agent since I got in the business 12 years ago. Um, so I'm mom first. And so that's why I love the Utah mom character, because it's something I'm very familiar with. And it's just been a fun diversion from real estate.
Absolutely. Well, and also like a little bit of like a, release probably of like all the experiences that you go through that. I mean, and that's what makes it funny is that it's relatable. I'm sure. I'm sure some of the characters, some of the skits that you do might mirror a little bit of the, experiences or people you've come in contact with or whatnot. So I think that's what makes it funny.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't put the baby in the car or gone to leave and they have filled their diaper? Like, who has not had that if you're a mom, right? So
Absolutely.
it's fun.
Absolutely. Well, I love it. So your journey from literally going from probably one of the worst times in your life and hitting, rock bottom. What was there like a moment or something, and I know you kind of you rolled over a little bit about, you were in corporate world and then you're like, hey, you real estate, I got to make this work. But what did you do? How did you, in that rock bottom moment, being left, and I'm sure lots of insecurities, lots of fears, unknowns, which a lot of people that we talk to are in that point, whether they're a real estate agent or it's clients that we're working with. How did you take yourself from that moment of probably a lot of fear and insecurity into, no, I can do this and I'm going to make this real estate thing work?
I think it's really important to have a why. Waking up every day, there was the first few months, there were really dark days. And I would wake up and say, I have to, for the sake of my children, act like life is good and happy and okay. So it was a lot of self talk, a lot of grit. But there was one day in particular I remember feeling like you have two choices. You either go down the road of being a victim your whole life and play on this pity party card, or you get up, you dust yourself off, and the best revenge is being happy and successful and giving these kids the very best life I can. And it's if I don't create it, nobody's going to create it for me. And I think it was just that moment of I love these kids so much that I want to give them and show them that no matter what life hands you, because life will hand you a whole heap of junk that you don't want to deal with, that we get up every day and we're positive And we get up and we make things happen. We don't wait for life to happen to us. We create opportunity. And so that for me was the big shift of two roads. I'm a victim or I create. I rise like a phoenix from the ashes and create something
Yes.
amazing. And I look now at my life and how I don't worry about money and I don't worry about where the next deal will come from. No scarcity in my life because I live in a state of abundance because I've chosen to be there. So that for me was life altering.
That's amazing. I'm boiling up because literally everything you're saying is like, yes, yes. It's the empowerment. It's taking control. It's being the victor, not the victim. And what I think people miss is that you have that choice. And that's exactly what you said. It's like you took your really crappy situation in what a lot of people would have given up or just didn't have the tools or understand that it was a mindset thing and that you chose that. Now let me ask you something. When you made that decision to, I'm going to go down this path of it's up to me, I'm the one that's going to be responsible for my life and my children's upbringing, and no one's coming to save me. Did you wake up every single day after that having that mindset? And if not, how did you get back to that? You know what I mean? Because obviously, this is not, none of our lives are rose colored. It's like sometimes when we make a decision, we have to continuously remind ourselves of that. So for you, was it like, nope, is like a flip switched and I was going down that path? Or was there ever any wavering?
I was very deliberate because I had a vision and I am a very determined and like almost addictive personality, if I'm honest. Like, okay, I'm going to do this. But yeah, I had to go and ask to borrow the money from my parents to go to real estate school and then to pay the MLS and the dues and all of that stuff. And so there were moments definitely where I was like, it felt heavy and the burden of potty training while I was doing class and getting up and going, oh my gosh, I got to get this one to kindergarten and this one on the potty. And like, there were definitely still days that were difficult. And it was just so much grit. Angela Duckworth's book really kind of, when I hit the wall in real estate and I felt like, oh my gosh, I've already done 30 transactions and I'm trying to get this one to baseball and this one to dance. And there's still a lot of days where I want to come home and throw my phone in the lake and say, I'm done with real estate, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, then you have the clients that touch your lives and that send you and give you so much love back that it's like, I can never stop. I can never put this basket down. I just love what's in this basket so much. But yeah, there were definitely days that I had to push myself mentally to keep going.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? I mean, obviously, I know it's part of just your makeup. It's your mental makeup. It's hey, I'm determined. I'm addicted. Like that's honestly, if channeled in the right direction, people with addictive personalities, call it ADHD, well, I mean, whatever. There's
Right.
all of that stuff can be superpowers, and when you channel it in the right way, it actually serves you. And so, tell me, because there's a lot of people that I'm sure you and I speak with that the excuse is I have kids or I don't have kids. I'm married. I'm not married. I don't have enough time. There's too much time. I don't know what to do. Like, how did you take all of those, what could have been excuses, and get over those? Because I mean, I'm in it too. I've got right now, I have two kids, 3 and under. And it's,
Oh,
and I know what I do, to get myself out of it. But I think what people sometimes don't know is, and what they want to know from somebody like you, who's like, hey, you've made it, in the sense of you dug yourself out of that pit that felt bottomless. And how did you take what could have very well, everyone would have understood if you would have been like, you know what, this is too much. I
yeah.
can't build a business while I have two little kids that as a single parent. So are there any skills or like tangibly, what can someone that's maybe in the position that you were 12 years ago and say, that's what I can implement in my life, this is what I can take from Mindy and implement today?
I think a lot of it honestly comes down to work ethic. Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to get off the couch and stop binge watching Yellowstone and get out and do farming or Instagram message or whatever your farm tactics are? Are you willing to do the work? because people will say to me all the time, you're so lucky to have what you have.